day, Brutal Planet listeners. This is Eric Peterson, and today I am joined by the always funny Don Jamieson. Don Jamieson, how you doing today?
Everything's good, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. So you just got back from? I thought I saw you on some cruises.
Yeah, just got off the Monsters of Rock cruise, and I'm back home, and I'm drying out my liver and trying to get my head back on straight. It's just a 5-day crazy party with all your favorite bands from the '80s and a bunch of new ones as well. But yeah, it was a really good time, man. Really good hang, and good to hit some beach weather along the way as well.
Yeah. Who was your favorite you saw there?
I thought, Tesla, is always great, still put on kick-ass shows. Striper was actually really amazing. The Choir Boys,
Oh,
I don't know if you've ever seen or heard
yes.
those guys, but they're amazing. Crocus, who were, on their quote-unquote farewell tour,
Mm-hmm.
they were great. And I say quote unquote because we all know
Yeah.
no band ever retires.
No. No. Even when they die, somebody else fills in, and then they still continue.
Right, or now you have the deal holograms. So
Exactly.
now, you really never retire.
No. And so it was. Do you have any more of the cruises lined up, or is that your last one? Because there's so many of them now.
Yeah, so I also did the Megadeth cruise back in October. So I'm hoping if they do that one again, I'll jump on that one
Nice.
because that was a lot of fun. That's a totally different vibe than the Monsters of Rock cruise, because the Monsters of Rock cruise is like just a big party. The Megadeth cruise, it was Overkill and Testament and Death Angel and Anthrax. So there's no mosh pits on the Monsters cruise, but plenty of them on the Mega cruise.
Yeah.
But both equally fun.
Yeah. So you've got this new album coming out next week called Denim and Laughter. And was that recorded at one of your live events? Was it not one of the cruises though?
No, I actually created an event around it because I like to do my comedy albums in kind of offbeat situations because I like to capture the vibe of where I am when I do a record.
Uh-huh.
And for this one, I'm old school. I think comedy should still be dangerous, right?
Yeah.
It's the same as rock and roll. Rock and roll's not fun if it's not dangerous. If your parents like the same bands that you like, it's not as much fun. So I decided to do this one in a speakeasy in Los Angeles, literally an illegal club. And people had to RSVP, to the Facebook event, and we emailed them the morning of the show, the address, because we didn't want to announce it, on our social media and all that, and then get shut down by the police. Cause
Yeah.
it literally is, like 1929. The Los Angeles County has no idea that it's there, but there's a bar and
Oh, okay. All right.
and, there's a stage and everything, and recorded 2 shows there and edited out made a great album out of it. And I thought, that would be. Part of me was hoping like maybe the cops would come in and raid us, and I'd be dragged away in handcuffs. That would be a good end to an album.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking for your next one, possibly since you like to do that, maybe you could sneak into a Jehovah's Witness church and do something.
Well, hey, listen, if I've done albums in some weird places, so I'll put that on the list. You never know. There'll be something to that.
So I have to talk to you about a little bit about about the metal show, and I was a huge fan of it. And do you and the other guys still keep in touch quite a bit?
Oh yeah, definitely. We were just together on the Monsters cruise.
Oh,
so
okay.
That was a lot of fun, and Jim and I did comedy together, for years and years before that metal show. So we still go out and tour together as comics, and we see Eddie, fairly often. We go to shows together. I'm going to see Eddie this week, go up and hit his radio show and talk about the new record and stuff. And so, yeah, we're always working some kind of angle to try to bring back the show because we miss it as much as everybody else. And we're hoping, 2020 is the year of the rock reunions.
Nice.
So, it would be right. This would be an appropriate time to bring it back.
Yeah, I just feel like for you, it's got to be the hardest because, well, you guys both, because busting Eddie's balls was like the best part of the show. Is it's like calling him out. It's like fun.
Well, yeah, thanks. That was, and if people see us together off camera, we do the same thing. So, it was funny when we first went in to pitch the show. All of us had been in a million different meetings over the years, done pilots for other TV shows that didn't go anywhere. And so you just get to a point sometimes where you just like, you don't really care anymore. But you'll take the meeting because I'm like, all right, if VH1 wants to buy us lunch, I'll take free lunch,
Yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to do what I want to.
Yeah, and when we went in, Jim and I and Eddie, we were just really loose, and that's what we did pretty much the whole meeting was, break Eddie's balls, and when we got done, they called and said, hey, listen, we don't really know that much about hard rock and metal, not like you guys do. But we love the interaction between the three of you. So, we'll leave the metal stuff to you guys, but we want to take that energy between the three of you and do a show with it. So, sometimes when you just let stuff go and you just go, screw it, it works out okay in the end.
And it obviously did, because it was 10 years?
It was about 8.5 years,
okay.
14 seasons.
Yeah. And was there any? I mean, I know you had some great highlights on the show, but was there any one that was in particular the highlight for you?
Well, my hero of life is Lemmy. So anytime Lemmy was on the show was the greatest for me personally, and he wasn't always an easy interview, because sometimes he'd mumble and he had a very thick British accent.
Yeah.
Sometimes he could sometimes he'd be obviously hilarious and come up with this amazing stuff, but sometimes he'd give you a yes or no. And but I always say, listen, if Lemmy just sat there and smoked and didn't say a word, it would be the coolest show.
Yeah, it would. I mean, it really would. And then you guys, I remember you had the drummers on the show and the guitar players on the show, and it was a cool thing. And you had the new album releases. It was just a fun thing. It was like it was almost a continuation of the Headbangers Ball without the videos.
Right. Yeah. That's you make a good point, because whether or not Eddie and Jim and I are able to come back and do this again together, it doesn't really matter. But somebody's got to do it, because between Headbangers Ball and us, there was a 13-year period where there was nothing.
Yeah.
And we can't have that. I mean, there's guys like you who are doing your part. I'm still out doing my part to help promote bands. I'm doing a show now, a video cast, and I use my social media to help promote bands. But, so we're all doing our little part, but somebody, has got to do it on a bigger level.
Yeah.
And it's not the three of us. I hope it's you or it's somebody, but we can't wait 13 years. Rock needs the support. So, just hope something comes up soon, to just make sure that these bands, get somewhere to go to promote their albums, their tours, and all that stuff.
So who are you listening to right now that you're just really digging?
Right now I've been listening to, and this kind of ties in, because 2020, besides, the rock reunions, Rage Against the Machine, Motley Crue, My Chemical Romance, Black Crowes, that's great. All those bands are coming back, but there's such a cool new wave of bands that are coming in, and whether you like them or not, Greta Van Fleet has opened up that lane.
Yeah. Yep.
All these bands are spilling in. All these young bands are spilling in there, man. So it's such a great time. And then also on the female side, you have someone like, all these young cats are making it cool for young dudes to pick up a guitar and take lessons again. And Lizzie
Mm-hmm.
Hale is showing young women it's cool to pick up a guitar and take lessons and play rock music. And so you're seeing it, man. You know, you see in bands like Crowbot, who are out, young guys who are out there killing it.
Yeah.
A band when I was out on tour with last year called Them Evils.
Oh,
out in Southern
yeah.
California. Are kick ass. There's a band, and now they're more of a thrash band. They're called Archer Nation. They're kind of like a young Megadeth. So it's not just all bands that sound kind of retro. You know, you got alternative metal bands like Fever 333, who are kind of like a Rage Against the Machine vibe. So it's just all this great young, you know, metal is coming in. You know, Alien Weaponry, stuff like that. So it's a good time for rock and metal right now. So there's no better time to have the TV show again to make sure that people know about this stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It was funny because this morning I was talking to Adrian Cowan from Seven Spires, the newer band called Seven Spires. Yeah. And I was asking her, and you'll appreciate this. I asked her, I said, so you've often referred to yourself as a millennial. How do you see the music industry changing as millennials start to move into the music industry? And that was a tough question for her to answer because it's so right now you and I are both Generation Xers, and we're just kind of like, it's interesting to see how things change throughout the music industry over the years and as different groups move in.
Oh yeah, I mean, no doubt. And the music business obviously has changed so much. And you know, it's just funny because of me being a comedian, but being so immersed in the rock world, and I do my albums on Metal Blade Records, which is a label that has been around, I think, 38 years now, and there's a reason, because they've changed and adjusted with the times, but they've kept the old school mentality, but they've kept the label alive by adjusting to the way the business is now. You know,
yeah.
I know when my album comes out Friday that at least 80% of the sales are going to be streams or downloads. That's just the way it is today, you know. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to make physical CDs and vinyl and put that out as well, because I am, you know, because I'm old school.
Good.
But you know, look, I know where my bread's buttered these days, and that's, you know, that's where we are. So you either kind of adjust with the times or you die.
So I was going to ask you, the other thing is when you go on tour, is it hard to be the stand-up guy when you know that you're opening for Zach Sabbath, or you know, and you know that they just want to come out and bang their heads and scream and mosh and stuff? Does that make it a little harder? Does it put you on your A game?
Yeah, well, it's definitely always, you know, nerve-wracking, because, you know, as a direct support band, which I guess, you know, that's what I am.
Yeah.
Right? I'm the direct support band, but I'm just me, and I'm a comedian. You know, I always say this. I give people what I call the sex, drugs, and rock and roll set.
Yeah.
You know, I keep it all in that world, so it's not so weird that there's a comedian out there. Obviously, I have some recognition factor from that metal show, which helps, but, you know, they don't want me going up there talking about politics and how woke I am, you know, and, you know, you're talking about kittens and puppies, you know. I'm going to talk about Black Sabbath and Motley Crue and Kiss and Ozzy and Alice Cooper and all that stuff. So, you know, the kind of try to keep it in the family there, and, you know, just get people, you know, smiling, laughing, and then we let, you know, whoever the headliner is come out and knock them down. You know, just try to get their energy up and going.
I love the story from the new album where you're talking about going to the Guar show and then taking a flight with blood all over your shoes.
Covered in blood, yeah, and the people staring at me on the flight. But because it's funny, man, because like I say on you know, in the story about, you know, the woman's looking at me, and I'm thinking, yeah, maybe she was at the Guar show and she's checking me out. And, you know, because we are we're such a tight-knit community.
Yeah.
Of people that love this kind of music, that we can't imagine nobody else doesn't like what we like, you know. So, you know, we think I can't imagine why everybody in the world wouldn't listen to Motorhead or Guar Gwar or Hatebreed or Iron Maiden or whatever, but needless to say, she had no idea and was horrified, and thought I was on the run from a double murder in Richmond, Virginia. So it was unintentional comedy on that one, but it's all stuff that happened in my life that is very specific to me on that album. I like to try to give people, I have so many unique stories, especially that revolve around rock music, that I love sharing with everybody.
Yeah. I see that as, that was your time to do some missionary work for heavy metal and say, hey, I know you're staring at me, and I just want to introduce you to this band called Gwar.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's not quite the holy work that Tim Tebow does, but maybe I'm the Tim Tebow of metal.
Yeah, exactly. So then the last thing I wanted to mention to you is I was reading through your bio a little bit, and I never realized you were a Tony Award winner, or Emmy Award winner, excuse me.
Yeah, thanks, man.
That's really cool. I mean, good for you.
Yeah, so I think, for the people who are familiar with me know that, my worlds of comedy and rock music are very much intertwined, but probably the part of me that a lot of people don't know about is that I'm a huge sports fan. And I've actually hosted a lot of sports stuff over the years, and one of the things was myself and Jim Florentine were doing comedy sketches for Inside the NFL, and yeah, man, like what a freaky thing to happen in life. Like Jim Florentine and I, when we fly together, like we still we fart on the plane, giggle like 6 years old, like we're we're like as and here we are at an Emmy ceremony, like getting these statues, for these sports themed comedy sketches that we did on HBO, and we're wearing suits that like we haven't worn since our high school graduation. Like we're so not a part of that scene, but geez, what a great honor to win one of those statues, and and then my parents started talking to me again after that.
That's good. Cool. That's good. So now that you've got that one under your belt, are you going to go for what is it Tracy Morgan calls it, the EGOT?
What's that?
The Tracy Morgan calls it the Emmy, the Tony, the Oscar, and the Grammy.
Well, maybe Denim and Laughter could win a comedy Grammy. I wouldn't be outrageous. I got cast in a film, right? And won an Oscar.
Yeah.
I think the elusive one is the Tony. I'm not a Broadway. The only Broadway kind of thing I understand is when I go see King Diamond.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like a satanic Broadway show, But other than that, I think the Tony is going to be a little out of my league.
Well, I mean, Alice Cooper has always talked about going Broadway, so maybe if you could swing your way into that and be like the guy that does the guillotine or something like that, maybe you could get something for that.
Eric, I like the way you think, my friend.
I'm always trying to work an angle. I mean, it would be cool just to see Alice Cooper do the stuff on Broadway, and it'd be even cooler to see you pulling the handle to release the guillotine.
We Eddie and Jim and I had a chance to be part of the stage show at one point when we were doing that metal show, but I was out of town, and Eddie and Jim were unable to do it at the time. So yeah, that's kind of a bucket list thing, man. Like I was so bummed out. I'm like, I'm down here in Baltimore doing comedy shows, and I could be the guy doing the guillotine on an Alice Cooper show. But he is doing the Monsters of Rock cruise next year. So maybe I start, planting the seed in Alice's head now.
There you go. I like it. Well, Don, I appreciate your time, and I'm so excited for people to hear this new album of yours called Denim and Laughter, because it's funnier than hell.
Well, dude, thank you, man. Yeah, I'm very proud of it, and like I said, I really tried to set it up to to have a certain vibe to it. Obviously, the packaging is a parody of Saxon's Denim and Leather.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, going on tour with Biff from Saxon, he's got a solo album out. So I'll have Denim and Laughter with me on the road with Biff. And, I'm hoping, like if I'm selling them at the show, maybe a lot of people think I'm selling Denim and Leather, and I'll get some extra sales out of it. So
there you go. And maybe what you should do is throw out some denim jackets as part of your merch and just kind of swing it in there and sling some in there, and people will buy them thinking they're theirs, and then you'll make some extra sales.
Do you work in marketing? Because I really like the way your brain flows, man.
Oh, I try. I mean, somebody's.
Well, thanks, man, for the support.
We always between us, we all got to carry the torch for what we love. You know what I mean? And so why not?
100%, man. And again, thanks for the time to have me today, and appreciate the good words on the album, and hope everybody picks it up on the 21st.